Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I will demonstrate how to set up a centralized logging in Docker Swarm using ELK Stack. ELK stands for Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana. Now look at the picture. We are going to use Filebeat to ship the log from service 1 because the service 1 is writing the log to a file. To check the log manually, we can use docker exec command to enter the container and then go to the log directory. So in order to ship the log into Logstash, we need to share the log file to a volume, and then Filebeat will mount that volume and read the log file and ship the log to Logstash. And for service 2, the log is written to standard output or standard error. So we can check the log by using command docker logs or docker service logs for Docker Swarm services. Since the log is written to standard output, we can directly ship the log to Logstash using Docker Gelf driver. It is a Docker plugin that is included when you are installing Docker engine. Okay, now I will show you a quick demonstration to give you a better understanding what is the difference between service 1 and service 2. I mean the difference between logging to file and logging to standard output. I'm going to run Nginx container. Docker run. I'm using RM parameter, so when I stop the container, it will be automatically removed. So it will keep our environment clean. I'm going to use official Nginx image. Copy and paste. I'm not using -d parameter because I want to start the container in foreground, not in detached mode. And of course I will publish the port to 81 and then just run it. Now I will open my browser. I will minimize this so we can see the console. And check for the log in the standard output of the console. Accessing localhost port 81. You see, the log is appear in the console in the foreground. We can also check the log using docker logs command. This is the Nginx container, docker logs and container ID, or you can use container name. You see the log is appear using docker logs command. This is the logging to standard output. I will cancel this and the container will be automatically removed because we are using RM parameter. Let's check. No, there are no Nginx container anymore. Now for the service 2, I will show you a container that is write the log to a log file. I will publish to port 81. The image is a Nginx with version. This is a modified Nginx from the official Nginx image. I'm only modifying the logging to write the log to file, not to standard output. Okay, enter. Now I will reload the browser. You see the log does not appear in the standard output. Also, if we using docker logs command, the logs won't appear either. The only way we can check the log is by entering the container using docker exec command and then go to the log directory. Docker exec -it container name and sh and go to var log nginx directory. Here you go, the access log of the Nginx. I'm going to cancel this so the container will be automatically removed. Okay, there are no Nginx container there. Now you understand the difference between logging to a file and logging to standard output. Now we are going to set up the services and then centralize the log to ELK Stack. I already set up the ELK part here. I have Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana. If you don't have ELK set up in your environment, you can follow my setup instruction in my tutorial. You can check my channel. You can find the link in the description. So in this video we will not cover the ELK part. We will just proceed with the service deployment and then ship the logs to ELK. Now I will prepare my Docker Swarm. I'm use Oracle VirtualBox. Here I have 3 VMs. I'm just going to use 2 of them, manager 1 and the registry. The manager is will be Docker manager, Docker Swarm manager, and the registry will be Docker worker, Docker Swarm worker. And also there is a Docker registry installed in the registry VMs. I will SSH to the registry node first to make sure the registry is up and ready. The IP is 192.168.0.52. Okay, let's check if the registry is running. I think it will take a bit longer, so I will just skip this and will get back to you when my Docker Swarm is ready. Okay guys, my registry is ready. We can check in the browser. 192.168.0.52. Here I have Nginx image here. And in this node is a worker node, so we cannot deploy here. Now I will get back to the manager node. This is manager node. Let's check the node. There are only 2 nodes. Let's check the service. No service right now. This time I will deploy to Docker Swarm using a compose file. I have prepared the compose file here. I will explain to you first. Version 3.8. It means we are using the compose file reference version 3.8. You can find the compose file reference in the Docker website. Yeah, I will show you. This is the compose file reference from the official Docker website. Yeah, version 3.8 is currently in the latest version. There are build and context, Docker file, etc. Some of them that we are going to use right now is volume, and then the logging. Yeah, so all the reference is available here. I will put this URL in the video description. Okay, now let's continue. Version 3.8. Now the services. In one compose file, there can be more than one services. Here we create the Nginx one. I'm sorry, according to the setup, the service 1 is the using Filebeat, and the service 2 will be using Gelf driver. So I'm going to edit this compose file. This will be service 2 using Gelf driver. Yeah. and the image is using official Nginx image, and this will be Nginx1, yeah, using the modified Nginx image, where the log is write to a file in file log Nginx. I'm going to share the file log Nginx to a volume here, because Filebeat need to access this log, read the log, and then ship the logs to Logstash. And then the source service is the Filebeat. You see here I'm mounting the volume Nginx volume to app log. So the Filebeat will be read the log from the /app log directory. Also, we need to create a Filebeat configuration and mount to the user share Filebeat YML. Here we define the configuration. The Filebeat configuration is external configuration, so we create outside these YML files. And then the volume is internal configuration, yeah, internal volume. It will be automatically created when we deploy these YML files. The volume type is local, so it means if the service is run in the manager1 node, the volume will be created in manager1 node also. And if the service is run on the registry node, the volume will be created in registry node also. That is why we need to deploy Filebeat in global mode. So Filebeat will be run in all available nodes. Let's say if there are 5 nodes, the Filebeat will have 5 replicas, and each replica will run in every node. In Kubernetes, it is called a daemon set. And one thing that we have to configure is that Filebeat configuration must be only accessible by the owner. In this case, the owner is Filebeat users. So we have to set the permission here. The mode is 0400. It means groups or other users cannot access the configurations. And we set UID and GID to 1000. 1000 is the UID and GID of Filebeat. Where does this 1000 came from? Yeah, I will show you how to get this value. Sorry, yeah, I have to save the YML files, yeah. Nginx1, yeah, okay. Exit. Now I'm going to run a Filebeat container. Yeah, it is just a temporary. Let's see if we have Filebeat image. Yes, we have. Docker run using rm parameter, yeah, remember, so our environment will always clean, yeah. Whenever we don't need the container anymore, the container will be automatically removed. I should use more parameter ya, the interactive parameter. Here using I mean detach mode, so I can go into the container using exec command, and the container ID or container name is okay. Oops, what's this should be only exec ya. Yes, I'm Filebeat ya, you see. And now check the ID of the Filebeat. You see, UID 1000, GID 1000 also. So this is where that 1000 came from, the UID and the GID of Filebeat users. Now I'm going to stop the container, and the container will be automatically removed. Okay, now get back to the YAML files. So because we define the configuration, Filebeat configuration externally, so we have to create the configuration first. I already prepared the configuration, yeah. The file is filebeat.yml. Let's see. In here I define the input directory of the Filebeat to /applog, yeah, the same as we define in the YAML files, compose files, yeah. So Filebeat will read the log file from this directory applog and ship the logs to Logstash. This is the IP of my Logstash. The same with the Gelf address, yeah, pointing to the same Logstash instance. You see here, Filebeat and Gelf goes to the same Logstash. Now let's create the configuration first. The configuration is filebeat_config, and then following by the file name, yeah, filebeat.yml. Let's check the config. Yes, config already created. Now we will deploy the service. We will deploy to Docker Swarm using compose file, yeah, using command docker stack deploy. The parameter is -c following by the compose file, in this case docker compose.yml. Docker compose here, it is just the name of the file. It doesn't mean that we are going to deploy using docker compose. As you know, I already shared a tutorial about docker compose before. You can check in my channel, yeah. So it is a different docker compose, yeah. In this context, it is only a file name, yeah. Maybe I will just rename the file so you're not confused, yeah, about docker compose here. Maybe I will set to the service spec, yeah. So the command will be docker stack deploy -c service spec YAML, and following by the stack name. I'm going to set the stack name to sum OAuth. Remember, in the service spec file, we define the service name to nginx1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 1 When we deploy to a stack, the service name will be stack name underscore the following by the name we define in the compose file, in the service spec file. So in this case, the service name will be sum of underscore nginx1, sum of underscore nginx2, etc. The same also happens to the volume. Yeah, volume will be sum of underscore nginx4. Yeah. You can check the service. Yeah, you see all service name. The prefix is sum of. Yeah. We can also list the stack in the swarm using docker stack ls, and then if we want to know what services are in this stack, we can use command docker stack services and following by the stack name. This is Filebeat is deployed globally, yeah. So because we only have 2 nodes, yeah, Filebeat replica will be 2. Nginx1 2 replica and Nginx2 only 1 replica. Now I will access the service. So the container will be produce some logs, and we will see if the logs is successfully shipped to ELK, yeah, and finally stored in Elasticsearch. Let's access the port 82 and 81. Yeah. I will open the browser. The node's IP is 50. Yeah, port 80. This is the IP of the manager nodes. Yeah, you can also access from the worker nodes because the service is published to Ingress network. Yeah. So by now the service is producing some logs, and the logs should be available through Kibana. Let's check. Give some more traffic. Yeah. Port 82 will be nginx1, which is using Filebeat. Yeah. Port 82 MIBit. Yes, you are Filebeat. I'm just trying to give more traffic to the service. Yeah. I think that's enough. Now let's open Kibana to see whether the logs are already coming or not. My IP, I think I use localhost IP, is okay. The Kibana is in port 5601. Username is Elastic and the password. Let's check if there are index pattern. Oh yeah, index pattern already created, so we can directly discover the log, yeah, through the discovery menu. You see here, this logs coming from the Filebeat. Yeah, you see the index pattern is bit. Now let's switch to Gelf. Yeah, you see this log coming from the Gelf driver. Am I Gelf? Yeah. Okay, now we are successfully set up a centralized logging in Docker Swarm using ELK Stack. I have one more tips. Maybe if you wonder how to create a container that is write the log to a file, on how to create a container that is write the log to standard output. Okay, this is extra time, yeah. If you already understand, you can just leave a comment and subscribe all. But if you want to know, you can follow. I'm just going to enter the Nginx container, yeah, that we just already created. Here I will enter the container that is using official Nginx image, yeah. This container is writing the log to standard output. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen, yeah. We already know that the Nginx write the log to var log Nginx directory. To write the log to standard output, basically we only redirect the log file to /dev/stdout or stdr. Let me show you. Var log Nginx, okay, ls. You see, the access log and the error log is redirected to /dev/stdout or stdr. So this is how it works, yeah, how the log is written to standard output. I will exit. Now I will show you the another container, yeah. What I do with the bit version, I already removed that redirection, so the log will be written to the log file instead of the standard output. I will show you. Maybe I still have the Docker file, yeah. Okay, here you see, yeah, I only removed that redirection, so we can check the inside the container, yeah. And go to the log directory. You see, there are no redirection here, while the official image is redirected to standard output. So that is the difference between the official image and the customized image, yeah. Okay, everyone, that's all for now. I hope you get a better experience with me. So I'm sorry for my poor English, yeah. I'm trying my best to reach people around the world, yeah. So I try to speak in English. Thank you for watching, and if you find this useful, please like and share to everyone, and don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified whenever I upload more videos to my channels. Okay, bye bye.